that promotes a host of activities for locals and tourists alike, and there's always another big event. Both groups live and anticipate for these events. After the passing of a thankful Christmas season and an explosive New Year's, many wonder what's next. With its 39th year, the St. Martin Heineken Regatta has surely made its mark on St. Martin. Rooted in the clear waters of the Caribbean, fueled by the cooling winds and executed by experienced, innovative, and friendly race teams, the regatta is 4 days of world-class racing. The Department of Communication interviewed the interim head of tourism of the St. Martin Tourism Bureau, Mei Ling Chung, who spoke about the importance and benefits of the regatta, the role of government, and the big celebratory preparations for the 40th year of the regatta.
We have a very important and also important role in the event of the Heineken Regatta. It's been going on, as you know now, this is the 39th year, and we have a strong collaboration, and this is throughout the years. It has built up to be as strong as it is today, as you can see. And the important role is that we have seen it as basically that it has a positive impact, economic impact on our island. So it is actually a subsidy to the Heineken Regatta. So that is something that's already, you could say, pre-approved, because we realize the positive impact it has on our economy when this event is going on.
What is the criteria in gaining funding, and which budget does this come from?
The way it is done is, as I said, it is a subsidy, and it has been in the papers already. It is every year 350,000 guilders, and that 350,000 guilders goes towards marketing. So it has to be marketing and promotion, PR. So that is where one of the criteria is to spend it on that. It can be not spent on operational, and basically what happens is marketing, there's a committee. We're part of that committee as well as the St. Martin Tourism Bureau, and they submit a marketing plan that we go over and we decide together on, and sometimes we do ideas together or change them, and based on that gets submitted then to written advice in order for it to be approved. So even though it is a subsidy, it still has to go through the procedures, of course.
Right.
So.
You said that the St. Martin Tourism Bureau is also part of the committee. So exactly how is the Tourism Bureau assisting in the marketing of the event?
Well, through our offices, actually, yes, because you have the local office based here as well as the representation firms. What we do here is we have from the marketing department and the product development department, we have staff, a team leader and support staff that will work closely together with the Heineken Regatta in order for us to make things happen. That is from bringing in, writers, influencers, bloggers, host them on the island, and I'm just giving you a few examples to as well as organizing it. We're part of certain, particular events throughout the week or throughout the weekend. So in that case, that's how we collaborate.
And you said offices. Where are the other offices?
And then the offices in New York, for example, and the Netherlands, because one of the things is the Heineken Regatta. What we've gotten out of the surveys and what we've seen through research we've done, 39% comes from Europe, and mostly from the Benelux, and 39% comes from the USA. So those two offices that we have at the moment, representation, they assist as well by coordinating, seeing who from those areas would come to basically cover the event for the week. So that gives us the exposure, as well as assisting us in hosting some of these media and travel writers. And that is where they're, and of course, writing articles, doing PR on it, and basically create that anticipation before the Heineken starts.
There is always much anticipation for the regatta. The island buzzes with life. There are patrons everywhere, walking around and taking in the scenery, shopping, hanging out, chit-chatting, and enjoying all things St. Martin. What is not in doubt are the benefits to St. Martin, as Mei Ling Chung explains.
We know that it has a positive economic impact on the island. People come here, they spend money, and last year, together with the Stats Department, they have done an exit survey specifically for Heineken Regatta. And to just give you an idea, is we had 529 attendees that were covered in this survey. And what came out of it is, for example, what I just told you, where they're coming from. So mostly come from the States and Europe. And that's also because of your flights, your structure of the frequency of your flights. And then the others come from the Caribbean with 12%. And then South America, a little less than that. So you have room to grow there. Secondly is that they spend, for example, an average of 11 and a half days. That is something we don't expect, because normally when we talk overall about a destination, we say, oh, our average is about 6.3 or 6 at least days average that people stay here. But in this case, with an event like this, we have realized with this survey, which close to 50% have taken the survey, that they stay 11 and a half days on average. And as well as they spend $77.69, just to give you a few facts. So that alone tells you that it does have a positive impact. People spend money here when they come. It creates also consumer awareness, destination awareness. Right. Therefore, this year, what we're trying to do and we're trying to work out is to do this again, the research, together with Heineken Regatta again and Stats, but a more detailed one that we can extend longer in order for us to get more detailed information out of it and to see really, what benefit it has a week before and a week after the Heineken Regatta.
How are the hoteliers, the restaurants, and the other touristic businesses benefiting? Have they been submitting numbers? Are they also going to be part of this extended research that you would like to do this year?
Well, we're still ironing it out, so we will have, eventually we'll come out with it as far as how we're going to do that. But of course, when you do something like this, it has to include them as well. We know that from speaking, of course, to your associations from the private sector, which is, of course, the Hotel Association, the Timeshare Association, and, of course, the small properties and the individual hotels, that they do. It's in a time where it's already high season, but this does very well. It contributes because people come, they stay in hotels, and it has a positive impact on them as well. So the occupancies are high. Mm-hmm.
Seeing that this is the 39th year and government has been assisting with the subsidy, what are the expected return on this investment?
Well, the expected return, if we look at it, is that we get more visitors. And I'm saying that is because one of the things that came out of the survey is that the first timers that came here, 89% of them, well, I said it already, first timers, 89% that attended last year were first timers. And then there is also the ones that have been coming here 5 times or more. So there is room for improvement. So what you see is with an event like this is it gives room for increase in your visitors, increase in, of course, spending on the island, so more revenue for the government, increase in the hotel occupancies. And of course, people spend money, so you're going to see that the restaurants benefit from it, shopping benefits from it. So the island in general benefits from this. So we expect that return to see the increase in destination awareness. That's what we normally call it. And we hope to be able to tap our finger on it better if we start doing these type of data collecting.
What are the plans to market the 40th anniversary of Heineken Regatta in 2020?
Well, nothing has been set in stone yet. It's been talked about that we have to start planning. So definitely what will happen, and when you speak also to the director of Heineken Regatta, we touched on it. That is something that we need to do right after this one. So after this one, we need to get together and start launching and start the campaigning already this year, early.
The Department of Communication also spoke to two captains, Tony Byrne and Garth Stein of Kids at Sea Foundation, who are providing training in a program called Gerard's Heroes, which provides maritime training to the youth of St. Martin.
Is this the first time in a competition entering for the regatta itself? For either of one?
No. I've sailed a few times. Garth sailed numerous times.
I've sailed in
races and regattas all over the world, really.
all around the Caribbean.
This is going to be the first one here in St. Martin, competing?
No. We've sailed in, like I said, I've sailed in quite a lot of Heineken regattas. We've sailed in the regattas in other islands, the Virgin Islands, St. Bart's, Antigua. But the most ones we've sailed is the regatta here in the Heineken regatta in St. Martin.
How many days prior to sailing in this competition is the vessel supposed to be in or checked prior to competing?
Well, the vessel that we have three different vessels that we're sailing as the Kids at Sea, and the boys are doing a training program. It's called through the Kids at Sea. It's called Zero to Hero. So they've been training. This set of youth, if you want to call it, have been training since the beginning of middle of December. So they've had about a month and a half now. So by the time the Heineken gets, they'll have about 2 months of sailing training behind them. So the boats are actually based and from St. Martin that we're sailing on.
How are the boats being screened to enter in the regatta?
The boats, it's just an entry, but they have to go through a measurement system. So the one boat we're sailing on, Moondance, has a rating. It's like a handicap. The other boats that we're sailing are one design class. So we won't be sailing on that particular boat. We won't be sailing all around the island. We have a special class that they've entered us, and we'll be sailing in Simpson Bay. So it'll be great for the spectators because we'll be right off the beach there by Character or on Simpson Bay Beach. They could sit there and watch the racing. But the Moondance has a handicap. So all the boats that are racing in the Heineken Regatta have a measurement. It's through the CSA, Caribbean Sailing Association. They have a measurement formula, and that's how they determine the.
And that would be like a division or class?
That's how they break them up into different classes, and each boat has a handicap, so it's a time penalty or a time gain depending on the handicap, and that's how they do it.
As for the crew's task on the boat, who does what, and how many crew members are allowed to be on the boat for the competition of the St. Martin Heineken Regatta?
Moondance, we're going to have 6 boys sailing as crew, and they've been training now up until now on the different tasks. On the other boats we're going to be sailing on, we'll have 2 on each and a captain, and each individual will have a task of trimming the sails. One will be releasing, one will be grinding the sails in. So
what's the most exciting thing that you look forward to as captain, and as well as you guys as the technical person on the boat for the regatta?
Well, I think a big part of it is because they're all local boys from St. Martin, they're local youth, and it'll be the first time that they ever participating in the regatta. So it'll be nice also to see the local boys sailing and participating in the St. Martin Heineken Regatta. I think that's one of the big pluses that we get to showcase that the guys are doing the maritime training and they're going to get to race in the St. Martin Heineken Regatta.
Tony, I'm sure adrenaline is pumping whilst at sea during the competition. What strategies are commonly executed during a sailing competition?
Effort.
Effort,
more than effort, and concentration, and a good tactician. Garth is teaching me about tactics, racing tactics, and I'm teaching my boys, and that's what we need to do.
As you come along. Please mention a few things to prevent during competition. If you want to be the winner for a competition and sailing competition, what are the do's and the don'ts?
The first priority for us is the safety.
Safety.
If you've got somebody hurt, it's all over. So it's safety first for us, every time. And after that, for me, it's tactics and aggression. We want to win.
Right.
Simple as that. We are going to do our very best to win our class.
Okay, very good. What can disqualify a vessel from the regatta while at sea?
No, that's down to Garth.
Sportsmanship, which we focus on getting them understanding teamwork and sportsmanship. If you have a collision, which we hope we're not going to have, all those kind of things can get you not necessarily thrown out, but cause you to a breakage on the vessel. can cause you to not be able to race further.
And speaking with your crew members from St. Martin, as you said, the youngsters, what are they looking forward to most for the regatta?
Well, initially, every year, I said since 2011, we've had a team entering in, and because they're doing the training at the moment, we decided to add it as part of their training, as none of them had ever been sailing before.
Right.
I think they're all excited. We've done 1 or 2 practice regattas with a weekend sailing, and you can see they're all excited. They all show up and ready to roll and jump in and pull the ropes, as they say.
Any final words for the other sailors who will be competing, or also for the people of St. Martin?
Well, to all you sailors out there who've been having your own way, some Martin boys are coming to get you this year.
We were also able to speak to one of the young men who talked about his aspirations in the program.
Naeem, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, good. I would like you to tell our viewers your experience and parts of the training that you experienced during this preparations for the St. Martin Heineken Regatta.
Well, my experience is kind of fun, and I would just like to take part in the Heineken Regatta.
Okay. How long you been in this training?
For like a month and a half.
All right. And I mean, what encouraged you actually to be part of the maritime training?
I always wanted to like do boats from since I was young.
Yeah.
So that's why I like take the opportunity to come do the maritime training.
Okay. After all of this is said and done, right? The regatta competition has been far long gone. What does Naeem intend on doing? Do you want to take it further?
Yes.
You want to be a captain someday? Tell me about that.
Yes, I would like to take it further. I want to be a captain. Well, I want to be a skipper actually.
A skipper?
Yeah.
Explain me the difference between skipper and captain.
Well, a skipper is like basically he helps the captain. He training to become a captain.
Okay. So he helps the captain, he trains?
Yeah, he have steps you take before you can become a captain on a big vessel or anything.
Okay. Before, like now that you're in it, right, and you're going to be competing in St. Martin Heineken Regatta, before this even came to pass, what you always said to yourself, if I ever get the chance to sail in and enter in a regatta, what I would do?
Why? I would like to win.
You like to win?
Yeah.
I think everyone would like to be a winner.
Yeah.
The regatta has been around for 39 years. The Department of Communications spoke to Michelle Courtois, General Manager of the Regatta Office, about the significance of the long-standing event, how the regatta is dealing with the recovery, and the relationship with the government of St. Martin in the marketing of the island and the regatta.
Michelle, tell us about the objective and overall vision of the St. Martin's Heineken Regatta.
It's very significant, of course. 39 years ago, it started off with a very small idea. 12 boats were racing in the very first event, and that grew out to now over 100 boats sailing in the 39th St. Martin Heineken Regatta. I think the island and the regatta grew up together, because if you go back to 1980 when it first started all the way to now, the event has come a very long way, but the island has as well. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I think the island can be proud of this event. Therefore, we always emphasize it's the St. Martin Heineken Regatta. People like to say Heineken Regatta or the Heineken, but for me and for the organizers, it's really the St. Martin Heineken Regatta.
Tell us about the objective and the overall vision of the regatta.
So basically, of course, it's all about sailing. That's how it started, and without the sailors, we wouldn't have this event here. But of course, it's promoting the marine industry. That's very important to the island, and it's promoting the island as a destination. So this event can be used as a tool, and it is used as a tool to promote the island. We're bringing in 1,000 and more sailors. They bring in their families and friends, and then it generates a number of visitors every year that just come to witness the regatta. They go for the parties, they go out on the water and see the boats race. And so for us, we wanted to be part of the island. and we want the island to be part of the event. So everybody can partake, whether it's as a volunteer, businesses that sponsor, businesses that help us with goods and logistics. So one of our goals is to really make this an island event, and also to create return visitors at other times of the year. If they had such a great experience during the St. Martin Heineken Regatta, then hopefully they'll come back in the summer, in our low season, when we need the people to come here and enjoy it when it's nice and quiet too.
What are the rules and regulations for the race?
So the rules and regulations on the sailing side don't differ so much. We use the rules of world sailing. So that's updated every, I believe, 5 years or so. The sailors have that manual. It's accessible online as well. We're all about having a world-class event, but also, of course, that fun aspect. So there's a lot of people that come here with their friends, and they're here more maybe to have a good time than seriously race, but safety is very important to us. So everybody has to abide by these rules. We set a proper course out that's safe for everybody to sail. And then, of course, on the onshore side of things, it's more logistical. We work closely together with the police and the fire brigade, Beams, the Red Cross, to make sure that all the boxes are ticked when it comes to safety with an event this size.
Where do the regatta rank among other regattas around the world?
I believe Antigua Sailing Week is actually the oldest. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary. I think BVI is in their 40s already. So, but we're close to being a third, I think, in the ranking of one of the oldest regattas in the Caribbean. And of course, size-wise, we're up there. We're with Antigua, the biggest regatta in the Caribbean. So that's very good.
St. Martin is still going through the recovery phase. Is this having any effects with the execution of this year's regatta?
You know, after last year when we decided to just announce we're having an event, I think this year has been a breeze in comparison to last year. But yes, of course, we still notice that the island is still coming back. And so it's more a logistical way for us. Of course, we're very happy that a lot of hotels managed to open in comparison to last year, but still not all the big resorts are open. So people are finding it difficult to find accommodations at time. And then, you know, the airport is such a difference comparison to last year. That's really good. So yeah, you know, last year was really, can we get the containers? Can we get the bathrooms? So less struggle this year compared to last year. And we're very proud that last year happened and this year can only be better. And I think a lot of people will come back and see our progress as well.
The government of St. Martin, in particular the tourist bureau, plays a major role in the regatta. Tell us about how you collaborate each year in executing a successful event.
Yeah, so this goes back a little bit to what I was saying about the marketing, and that this event is a marketing tool for the government and more specifically for the tourist board in promoting the destination. So we work together on bringing journalists here that would cover the sailing side of things, so they're high-end sailing magazines, but they also cover the destination. So when they go out on the water, they will also go out, take a tour around the island so that they can see all the hotspots of the island and take it into one big storyline and not just focused on the sailing. It's this year the emphasis is more also on influencers. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, they're really the ways to go about marketing, as all the young people will know. And I consider myself very young, but I still notice that the next generation knows a lot more about it. And it's a great ride for us to work together with the Tourist Bureau on how we can find the right people that would cover the destination side and still have that interest in the sailing as well and the marine industry as a whole. So it's always been a pleasure working with the tourist board. We have very creative minds working together to see how we can really put St. Martin on the map, especially after what we went through. It's very important that we get back there even stronger and better than before.
Of course, to put on such an event, there is a cost involved. What is the financial cost to carry out this year's regatta?
When you look at the whole event combined, you're looking at a budget of about $1 million easily. So yes, we're talking big numbers, but then you get a big result as well. You get the world-class sailing on the water side, and then of course the world-renowned concerts on shore, and that combination makes us stand out internationally. Everybody knows about the St. Martin Heineken Regatta. So,
who are some of the countries that we will be seeing taking part this year?
So we always have a big group coming from the east coast of the United States, as well as Holland. But we have people coming from France, Russia, Ukraine, Brazil. Of course, the region is represented through Puerto Rico, Antigua. So yeah, we welcome a multitude of nationalities at our event.
Let's touch on the different categories of boats that will be taking part. Can you explain us that?
Yeah, we have about 15 different classes, and the boats are put together in classes based on their ratings. It's almost like, best comparison is probably with golf. Everybody has a handicap, so the boats get a handicap as well.
Another exciting aspect of the Heineken Regatta are the parties. We spoke to Earl Chuchi York, who explained his role in the production.
Well, this year's production, we've been verily, I could say, almost 100% involved. We've mapped out the whole venue. We started with the floor plans, creating the floor plans and making a projection, a 3D rendering to the client of what it can look like. And in consultation with the client, we finalized the floor plan. And now we are in the execution stage where we have, as you can see, the big stages, all the VIP lounges, the portable bathrooms, the tents, the lighting, the fencing with the privacy fabric, the whole works, one-stop shop. Setup for an event like this takes us, we started to work on February 12th. Today is the 25th, so I would say about 12 days, you know, a good 12 days, 12 to 13 days, 2 weeks, and we could have a production like this set up.
Thank you for watching the Heineken Regatta Special, brought to you by the Department of Communication.